Hey guys, it's me, Caitlin, and today I wanted to talk about goal setting and, knowing when you need to maybe change your plans or just change your path, or maybe you need a new goal altogether. So if you're anything like me, I'm a huge planner. I love to set goals for myself and my horses, and I think it's an important thing to do because it keeps you motivated, it keeps you working towards something, and it challenges you and gets you out of your comfort zone. I'm a huge advocate for, getting out of your comfort zone and doing new things and trying new things that maybe you aren't good at the time. But I do think there's a fine line between, pushing yourself and your horse too much and, when you start feeling kind of stressed and anxious, I don't think those are good signs to be seeing when you have, a goal in mind. So oftentimes I see, owners and trainers kind of forcing horses to do things that maybe they're not ready for at the time, and they're kind of sacrificing that to reach their goals, which I don't think is, it's not good for the horses to be pushed out of their comfort zones. You risk injuries, you risk their mental well-being, so sometimes that's a sign that maybe you need to change your goals, or maybe just change your timeline a little bit. Maybe getting to Congress in October of 2023 isn't feasible. Maybe you need to change it and say, okay, I'm going to go to Congress in 2024, just so I can, keep my horse's mental and physical well-being in mind. And on the other hand, I also see owners and riders doing things out of their riding ability or level. For example, if you're showing in dressage and you try to go into a first level test, and you're pounding on your horse, you're stressed out, you're anxious because things just aren't lining up right. Maybe you need to go back to training level or intro level or whatever it might be to preserve your mental well-being. And, I think a lot of times we get stuck in comparison, Sally down the street showing, training level or Grand Prix or whatever, doesn't mean that you need to. So, I think we as humans get caught up in comparing to other people, and when in reality, we don't really know the full story. You might be trying to take a young green horse into training level or first level, and Sally down the street has a 15-year-old schoolmaster horse that she's showing in the upper levels of dressage, which those are two totally different paths that are being taken. Bringing along a young green horse is much different than showing a horse that has done it its whole life. So I think a lot of times in those aspects, a lot of the riders lose their confidence because, they're really pushing themselves to do all these things, and they're not seeing the results that they want to see because, they're pushing themselves too hard. So I think there is a fine line between not pushing yourself enough and pushing too much. So a couple things that I think are, red flags when it comes to your goals is, are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling anxious when you're riding your horse? Or is your horse feeling stressed or anxious when you ask for certain maneuvers? Or maybe he instantly gets stressed when you take him into the arena because he's expecting to be yanked on and kicked on and pulled on, because in reality, he doesn't really understand what you're asking, and you're more or less forcing him to do certain maneuvers because it's in your test that you have to compete at this weekend. And then on the other hand, have you stopped making progress altogether? And have you lost your motivation? I think that goes both ways as, are your goals aren't big enough, or are they too big? I think that sign can go both ways. And then finally, are the people that you're supposed to be trusting and respecting, like your coach, trainers, or even your good friends, are they pushing you too much to, get you to your first show? Because, in the end, it's a moneymaker for trainers and coaches to be going to shows and having their clients win. are they pushing you way too far out of your comfort zone, or are they telling you altogether that your goals aren't achievable? So that I think also goes both ways, is having somebody on your side that truly is on the same page as you and wants to reach your goals in a decent amount, a good amount of time for what those goals are. And the other thing to remember is that you're not alone on this. Everybody's been there. We've all been frustrated. We've all kind of lost that motivation and started comparing ourselves to other people. And I think that's the biggest thing, is there's a big difference between overcoming your obstacles on the path of reaching your goal and then just giving up altogether. I think if you think about it in a way that when you get stuck, that maybe you just need to change your intentions. I think that's a very good way to think about it, is, hey, maybe I'm not going to reach my goal this month, but if I change my intentions and do it the right way, I preserve my horse, I preserve, my confidence, and it might take me 2 or 3 extra months, but we are going to get there. I think that's important to think about when you're reaching your goals. So I hope this helped you guys. As always, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always happy to answer questions and go into more depth about, different subjects. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.